Hi, this is the Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Edition 4-player mod guide video. This video is to be used in conjunction with the text guide that I've posted on the Steam community. I'll include a link to the Steam guide in the video description. So as per the guide, you will need two tools, which is the pack extractor tool and some sort of hex editor. So you want to download your pack extractor and extract it somewhere like the desktop, and then you'll run the application, converter app.exe. In the application, you'll click on the second tab, which is the pack/lsv tools tab, and under the package path, you will go to navigate, and then you will click on your installation location for the Divinity game. Inside this installation folder, you'll see a data folder, which you'll want to go to, and inside the data folder there's a main.pack file. This is the file that we're going to be extracting, so you'll just click on that and press open. All the other settings can be left by default, and you can just hit the extract package button. By default, the files will be extracted to the root directory of the pack extractor application. So as you can see, it's currently extracting things into the mods and the public folder, as these are the contents of the main.pack file. Once it's completed, you can just hit OK and close the extractor application. It is no longer required. So the file we're going to be modifying is located inside the mods folder and then in the main folder. The file is called meta.lsx. So you'll want to open up your hex editor, and then you want to open the meta.lsx file inside your hex editor. So you can use any editor you like. I'm just using XVI32 in this video. So the attribute we want to change is called numplayers. I'm using the search function in the editor to look for a text string called numplayers. Keep in mind that I have case sensitivity checked, and I'm capitalizing the N and the P, as that's the name of the variable or the attribute here. So you just hit OK, and it'll find the attribute ID right here, and by default the value is set at 2. So you'll want to change that to 4, and that's it. That's all you need to do to modify that file. You now want to actually save the file inside of your Divinity folder, because it's currently sitting on your desktop or wherever it is you extracted the pack extractor to. So you'll just navigate again to your Divinity folder. So you want to go to the data folder. In this data folder, you'll have to create two new folders. The first folder you'll have to create is called the mods folder. You'll then go into the mods folder and create another folder inside that folder called main. In this main folder, you'll save the meta.lsx file. Keep the file name lowercase. Once that's been saved, you can close the hex editor with this file for now, and you're done with the pack extraction stuff. So now your server is set to 4 players, and 4 players can join your server. The only problem is, by default, Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Edition has a check in the character assign screen that requires each character to have a main character assigned. This wasn't present in the original copy of the game, but it is a thing in the Enhanced Edition, so additional modifications are required to bypass the error. By default, this error will not let you escape the character assign screen if each player does not have a main character. Since there would be ideally 4 players connecting to your game, this means 2 of these players couldn't possibly have a main character assigned. So in order to modify the exe, we'll have to open it up in our hex editor again. So we just open the hex editor and navigate to the Divinity installation folder. And instead of going to the data folder this time, we're going to go to the shipping folder, which is where the binaries for the game are contained. So it's called eocapp.exe. This is the one we'll want to open. You won't have this 4-player one. That's the modification that I made. So you'll want to open up eocapp.exe, and it'll then open up the entire exe here, and you'll see a bunch of hex for pretty much all the code in the game. It just represents assembly instructions. So you'll want to find the right hex value associated with the code that controls that error popping up and the loop that doesn't let you escape the character assign menu if the error is up. The hex values, I post them in the Steam community guide. So currently, at the time I'm making this video, the latest version of the game is 2.0.104.737. Should the game get updated in the future, the value will differ from this video, so you will have to read the text guide and look at the hex values. So I just have the hex value here in Notepad, but you'll just get it from the guide. You can just copy it, and then you will go to this, use the search function again, and this time we're looking for a hex string. So we'll just paste the entire hex value in there and press OK. And then it'll find the hex value for you, and you want to change a couple of the values here. And again, you'll want to consult the text guide because it tells you exactly what you need to change. So for this version, the text guide says replace values 400F93C7. So you just kind of want to look around near this string to see where these values are, and I can see that it begins right here with 400F93C7. So the replacement values are 31, C0, F7, and D0. And then once you've done that, you can either just save it over top of EOC app.exe, which will make it so that Steam opens it up by default, or you can save it under a different name in the same folder. If you do that, you'll have to open up the game just by running it from the exe rather than Steam, because Steam by default will always look for this file name to open. So I'm just going to save it here under a 4-player name. You can close the hex editor. You're done with the guide. So I'm just going to test it and show you how it works now. So I'm just going to open up 4 copies of Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Edition, and I'm using the modified executable file here. I'm just going to turn the sound off of that. Okay, so you'll want to just now host one of the clients is your host. So I'll just load up a game here that I have. This will, by the way, work with any save game you might have, anything like that. So it's the mod is fully backwards compatible with any saves you have pre-modification. So I'm hosting a server on the client here in the top left, and then I'm just going to join it on these clients. So I'll just show you here. As you can see, the player count on my server here is showing as 1 out of 4, unlike the default servers, which are 1 out of 2 typically. That's what modifying that meta file did, and up that player count. Now I'm going to join it on all the clients here. Looks like one of the copies of the game actually crashed. I imagine this is because I'm trying to run 4 copies at the same time, though, rather than anything mod related. Also, I think I actually tried to join a public server on there. So we'll just go to LAN. This is, by the way, compatible with public servers, so it will work just fine. I'm not sure why it crashed there, but I don't think it's related to anything mod related, like I said. Anyway, once that's in the game, you can just go to your main client here, and you'll hit the assign characters button, and as you can see, you can just kind of change the assignment around however you like. So I just have each player controlling a character, and that should work now. So we'll just test it out. It's kind of laggy because there's 4 of them here, but as you can see, each client is controlling its own unique character. So that's really it. That's all you need to do. Like I said, I do post updates in the Steam community guide, and also I kind of answer any questions that people may have in the comments there. So that's pretty much the best source for any sort of support for this mod, as limited as it might be. So thanks for watching the video, and good luck.